Hearing loss is the third most common health problem in the United States, but there are ways to treat it, and the technology keeps getting better. Audiologist Heather Bennett first talks about the signs of hearing loss.
Some common signs are that you're having difficulty in a crowded room with a lot of background noise, that you often feel like other people are mumbling, that you have to ask them to repeat themselves, that you feel that it's more difficult to hear women's or children's voices, that you are turning the TV up louder and louder, your family's complaining, or tinnitus, which is ringing or buzzing in the ears, can also be a sign of hearing loss.
Now, you mentioned the voices of children and women. Why is it often harder to hear them?
Women's and children's voices, we speak in a higher pitch, which just because of the anatomy of our inner ear, we often see those higher pitch frequencies have worse hearing loss than the lower pitch ones, where the men's voices tend to be.
And there are a lot of people with hearing loss, aren't there?
There are. It keeps going up and up, but it's estimated right now that about 36 million Americans have hearing loss. It's actually the third most common health problem in the United States, behind arthritis and heart disease.
Wow. And if you think about it, it's kind of a sad thing that it's a little bit embarrassing to talk about, isn't it?
It is. And, it's something that I'm constantly out there advocating for, because personally I believe that a hearing loss that's unaided is more noticeable than wearing hearing aids, because when you're in a conversation you're constantly having to ask people to repeat or looking like you're just totally lost, then that becomes more noticeable to people than, say, having the hearing aids in your ears.
That's a very good point. That would be embarrassing in general. And these days, my father has some hearing aids. You can't even tell you have them in.
Exactly. Of course, my first job is to make sure that it's appropriate for your hearing loss. But if it is, we have very small options for you.
And you have some cool doodads over here. Tell us what they do.
Well, these are actually the hearing aids that I was talking about. So, as you can see, they've become smaller and smaller behind your ear. And this is just a thin tube that comes straight down your ear. And then this is the part that goes in your ear. So really, it's really discreet, and actually for women, it's even a lot more discreet, because we get a color. As you can see, we have many options that blends in with your hair, and really, it's very difficult to see. And for these particular hearing aids, we have a lot of accessories. Hearing aids have become Bluetooth compatible.
Wow.
So this little guy you would actually wear around your neck, and it can be your remote control, but it also can connect to your cell phone. Say, for instance, I have, an iPhone, so I could listen to my music and get it streamed directly into my hearing aids. Or if somebody called me, I could just hit the phone button, and then I answer it, and it's directly streamed into my hearing aids, because this right here is a microphone, so the other person can hear you, and you can hear them.
That's super cool technology.
Yes, it really is. I mean, these guys can be connected to a landline telephone for the same thing, and this one can be connected to your TV. So there's a lot of great options out there.
So it's not the hearing aids of yesteryear that beeped every time you got near them.
No, they're not. And as we mentioned, that 36 million Americans, actually over half of those are under age 65. So it's younger and younger, and so hearing aid manufacturers have realized that they really got to keep up. Even the baby boomers are pretty techno-savvy. And so, people are liking all of their accessories, and so hearing aids are having a lot more options than they used to.
And there's a lot of folks out there, too. I had looked on your website talking about tinnitus. That's a huge issue as well, isn't it?
It is. That's an even bigger number. It's estimated about 50 million Americans have it every day or have suffered from it at some point. And what's important to remember about that is it's a symptom. It's not a disease. And it can be a symptom of a lot of different things, but typically it is a symptom of hearing loss, and we recommend anybody that has tinnitus to schedule an evaluation just to determine that there's nothing else going on.
And my father, he would be so frustrated by the end of the day with all the ringing in his ears. And now they have this technology that changes all the different sounds. He hears fans, he hears music, and it really helps distract him to the point where he feels normal again in the day. And then when he takes him out at night, he can hear it again. And it's like such the world of difference.
Exactly. You know, it's not a guarantee. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee of getting rid of the tinnitus, but it's about 70% of people that wear their hearing aids will notice their tinnitus less throughout the day. And that's because we are giving you back those sounds that you're missing, and that keeps your brain more occupied and less likely to focus on the tinnitus.
It must be nice to provide a service that can really change somebody's life here.
It is. It really is. I mean, it's really such an honor just to see the difference. You know, people come in and they're so hesitant and they're dragging their feet. And then if they've decided to purchase hearing aids, to see them at the end of what we consider their 30-day trial period, honestly, I've seen people become different people, you know, and just kind of really break out of their shell. And I feel like, you know, they're living the life that they need to be living.
And audiologist Heather Bennett offers a free screening. So give her a call, 434-237-2226, or go online 877allears.com.